Hello, guys. Today we are going to learn about conditional sentences. Conditional sentences are sentences that have preconditions to come true. When we are talking about conditional sentences, there are two things that should come to our mind. These are the if clause part and the main clause part. So these are very important points that we should have to remind or remember when we are talking about the conditional. Okay, so when you are trying to make sentences related to conditional sentences, you should have to know these key parts of conditional sentences. Okay, now let's try to proceed the examples for conditional sentences. Example sentences. If you study, comma, you will pass the exam, full stop. The sentence has started with if clause, which means if you study. There is a comma in between the if clause and the main clause. Just this is the fact, okay? Here is the if clause part of the sentence, and here is the comma, and here is the main clause part of the sentence, okay? So when you are making a sentence for conditional sentences, it is obvious to have this kind of important ideas. And now let's take a look at example 2. Example 2. You will pass the exam if you study. Here we have used full stop at the end of the sentence because the underlined part of the sentence is main clause, and because of that reason here you are not going to use a comma. So this is applicable for all sentences that started with main clause in time of conditional sentence construction. The sentence has started with main clause, that is fact. You will pass the exam, okay? You will pass the exam. Comma is not used when the sentence has started with main clause. So this is a very nice point that all of us should capture into our mind. Generally, there are 4 types of conditional sentences: zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. Now, let's try to see each of them one by one. Let's start from zero conditional. Is used to talk about universal facts or things that are always true, okay? If you want to talk about facts or things that are always true in English, zero conditional is a way. And for that, these points should be just captured by you, or you should have to know these factors, okay? So it uses simple present in both the if clause and the main clause parts, okay? To express factors or things that are always true with zero conditional, you are going to use only simple present, okay? From both sides, which means the if clause part and the main clause parts. If its form is if plus simple present, comma, plus simple present, or if plus subject plus verb 1 plus object, comma, plus subject plus verb 1 plus object. So this is the correct structure for a conditional zero. So you should have to know this fact, okay? So you should have to know this fact. You can also exchange the position of if clause and the main clause. So this is one point that you should have to know for conditional zero. Now let's take a look at the example that is given here. If you boil water, comma, it evaporates, full stop. It evaporates if you boil water, full stop. In the first one, here we have a comma, but in the second one, no comma. What is the difference? All right, you might have just speculated some kind of ideas about that because it has started with if clause, but when we are coming to the second one, it has started with if clause, and because of that reason, we are not going to use a comma here. But in the first one, since we have started, or since the sentence has started with if clause, it is mandatory to use here a comma. Now we proceed to this next, which is first conditional or conditional type 1. It is used to talk about things that have probability to happen in the future when the precondition is fulfilled. Okay, for example, I will pass my exam if I study very hard. So to pass the exam, the precondition is to study very hard. So if you fulfill preparation for your exam or the precondition for your exam, you can pass. So ideas related to this one to express in English can be used first conditional or conditional type 1, okay? Conditional type 1. So to express ideas of this kind, we should have used the correct structure or form. So the form is if plus simple present, comma, plus simple future, or if plus subject plus verb 1 plus object, comma, plus subject will plus verb 1 plus object. So let's take a look at the example. If I see teacher Girana, comma, I will greet him, full stop. And example 2, I will greet him if I see teacher Girana, full stop. Okay, now let me ask you one question. What is the difference between sentence number 1 and sentence number 2? Right. You might have said some good ideas, but to save time, sentence number 1 has started with if clause, and because of that reason here we have a comma. Sentence number 2 has started with main clause, and because of that reason here we don't have a comma. Good. Second conditional type. It is used to talk about events that cannot happen because of the unfulfilled preconditions, okay? Simply, this conditional type 2 is a conditional that can be used to express our wish, okay? So, because of natural and man-made factors, you might have no chance to be. For example, if I were a bird, I would fly, okay? Because of natural factor, here no chance to be a bird. But simply you can say that if I were a bird, I would fly, okay? So to express ideas, just like this one, you can use second conditional or conditional type 2 in English, okay? And to do that, the correct form or structure is if plus simple past, comma, plus present conditional, or if plus subject plus verb 2 plus object, comma, plus subject plus would, could, might, verb 1. So these are the correct structure that you should have to apply, or you should have to put into practice when you are constructing sentence related to second conditional. Right? Now let's take a look at examples that are just given here. If I had a lot of money, comma, I would buy a plane. Here, the sentence has started with if clause, and because of that reason, here we have a comma. I would buy a plane, full stop at the end of the sentence. As I have said so many times, within this lesson, you can exchange the position of the main clause and the if clause. So you can say, I would buy a plane. If I had a lot of money, you can say. But when you are saying just like this one, you're not going to use a comma, okay? So if I had a lot of money, comma, I would buy a plane, full stop. So the meaning of this sentence is that I do not have money, comma, so I cannot buy a plane. So simply you are going to express your wish because you don't have the precondition or no fulfilled your precondition to achieve what you have planned, okay, in the past time. So now you are going to express simply your wish to achieve that, okay? Now let's proceed to the next, which is conditional type 3, okay? I hope that you are attending me with energetic attention, okay? So be ready to proceed with me to discuss or to talk about third conditional or conditional type 2, okay? Conditional type 2 in English. Therefore, actually you may have seen at different contents or books related to these conditionals, but this is a very important explanation that has just presented for you in a very short and precise manner. Therefore, third conditional or conditional type 3, we use this conditional to express regret, okay? Especially it is used to express regret, and the form if plus past perfect, here comma plus perfect conditional, or if plus subject plus had plus verb 3, here is comma, subject plus have plus verb 3 plus object. And here is an example for third conditional example. If we had studied harder, comma, we would have passed the exam. So this is totally the lesson that I have presented for you related to conditionals. Totally, to summarize, we have 4 types of conditionals: zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. And to do sentences with them, we should have to follow the correct structure or form, and we can also exchange the position or for the if clause and the main clause parts. And to illustrate that with the explanation that I have presented here, has just provided you detailed examples. So by reading additional reference books and by looking again and again the contents or the examples that I have stated here, you can develop your understanding level about conditional sentences. Thank you for listening.